You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.
Hey, Hotep family. Karibuni, karibuni, jambo, 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 jambo. Yes, habari, all of you out there. I want to welcome all of you on this very exclusive edition of the Pan-African Daily TV with a very, very special, young, smart, intelligent guy sitting right here in the name of Timi Frank. Timi Frank, I mean, it's a household name on the continent when it comes to young, smart, political voices with a big heart. We mean a brave heart. He is a soldier. He says it the way it is. Timi Frank is here today to educate us and to give us the state of the nation of Nigeria today from a political perspective. Yeah. Good. So if you're joining in from the continent mainland, if you're joining it as an African migrant in Europe or the world, or if you are joining it as an indigenous diaspora, you're welcome today. And we say karibuni. Karibuni just means welcome. You know, we're adopting Swahili to be the unique and one language for the Africa that we want. Yes. So please make sure you click the link and share, because today we're sitting on a hot seat. Today is not just those passive moments where we sleep on the show, where we have, you know, political topics, but that are just boring and just like, what is it all about? Today, we are going to know the truth. Imagine a guy sitting here like Timi Frank knows the past, the present, and the future of the political state of Africa and Nigeria in particular. And you ask yourself, how old is he? Yes. I mean, we imagine or we expect like the Africa of yesterday to see, you know, the old men that say they're all full of wisdom to mentor us or to teach us about what we're supposed to know. But no, the Africa that is coming up, the young Africa, the new Africa that we are experiencing now is the African where young voices are defining the narrative and the roadmap of how the continent is supposed to be. Not just from their perspective, but they all dwell on facts and experience with a track record. Yes. So that is the kind of person that we have here. Now, who is Timi Frank? I don't want to go into details, but if Professor P.L.O. Lumumba will recommend and say, Dr. Susan, you need to have Timi Frank on the Pan-African Daily TV, then that is something. If Osman Touré, the honorable young voice for the future, would recommend and say, oh, wow, I saw this flyer, we all gonna tune in the show, then that is something, right? If freedom, AKA the new face of Africa, you know, would just recommend and say, hey, this is a guy that I know him, I cherish, I acknowledge him, I recommend, I endorse his state of mind for the Africa that we want, then you can already begin to anticipate what kind of a person is sitting here in front of us. He might look so tiny as he is, that's the Yoruba people, or that is the real brains of the Nigeria. You know why he is this? Because he doesn't eat fat on corruption. He is like this because people that are slim and dark skinned and tall and healthy and smiling and handsome in nature, and some people that are a product of the indigenous Africa that we want. So they've not been, let me just say, dealing or stealing money left, center, or right, and just be puffy and being that. No, that is not what I hear. That is not what I know. But today, who knows? I always would fall back on the words of my daughter and my PA, Naisha, who said, yes, mom, they all speak nice. But you know what? We want to see what they do. So today, Timi Frank is going to actually, talk from his experience as a spokesman of Nigeria on the ruling party, which this excellency or this government is sitting on right now. Then we begin to ask ourselves what is going
Former
wrong,
spokesman.
or the former spokesman, because right now he is like, I don't want to even identify myself. So yeah, you see, you just made a correction, like, right, I don't want to dirty my hands again. But we want to find out what is the inspiration. Why did you even become? And right now you went and you saw, that's not the road I want to get out. Timi Frank, you are welcome to the Pan African Daily TV for the first time. You've been rocking international media, the most celebrity medias on the continent and in the diaspora. You're welcome here for the first time. Welcome, my brother. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity for
To
me
me,
to speak.
hold on. Is it possible if you can adjust to your right? Let me see if it is to your right. Just hold on. Shift a little bit your camera to your right so that, or your left. Your left. Yes. What? To your left again. To your left. I'm just following what Ia is telling me. Yes. Perfect. Good. All right.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Now we can see you and enjoy you. So, brother, go ahead. Tell me.
Yes. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to say very big thank you to your entire crew. I want also to say thank you to the entire African continent to give me the opportunity to speak. And first of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Comrade Timi Frank. I was the immediate past spokesperson of the ruling party right now in Nigeria, the APC. I resigned my position as the Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the party in 2017 when, I knew the party does not deserve a young man like me. A young man in a sense that I believe in leaders who keep to their campaign promises.
Mm.
And when I realized that General Buhari was not keeping to the campaign promises that we used in selling name to Nigeria in 2015, I said I can no more longer remain in that kind of party. The first thing I did was to apologize to Nigerians for being one of the young men who took part of those who made General Buhari president in 2015. Many Nigerians knew very well the role I played, the sacrifice I made to unseat the then PDP government in Nigeria, where the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, was the president.
Mm.
Myself and the former president, we came from the same states in Nigeria, from Biafra state where I came from. And for principle, I said as at that time, Nigerians were yearning for change.
Mm-hmm.
In 2015, so we did everything to bring change, but not knowing that the kind of change we're bringing to Nigerians was a change that was coming to consume the Nigerian people,
Mm-hmm.
to destroy the good work that has been there long time ago. So I did everything within my reach when I saw that General Buhari's government wasn't a government that can deliver its campaign promises. I said I don't want to be part of this satanic collabo anymore. I decided to resign in 2017 as the acting spokesperson of the party. So this is my story of the APC. So many persons did not understand why I left. I left the party because the party was a party that does not have any good plans for the Nigerian people. Before we took over in 2015, dollar was about 200, if I'm not doing mistake. The electricity situation was a bit better off than today. The insecurity was better off compared then and now. under the former president, Goodluck Jonathan's time, the security was better. The insecurity today, if we have to compare today and when we took over in 2015, I can tell you clearly, there is no comparison. Then, it was only the northeast part of Nigeria that we have insecurity, which is Boko Haram and Co. But today, the northeast is nothing to write home about. The northwest is neither not safe. The southwest, there is problems. The southeast, there's a lot of issues. The south-south is the same. It's either you face kidnapping in one of the regions, or banditry is going to claim your life, or the Boko Haram or the Fulani herdsmen is doing. So practically, today in our country, criminals have hijacked the country in different form. Everybody has taken opportunity and advantage that we don't have a government at the center. I believe General Buhari would have done better because the two strong areas where he promised Nigerians that were expected, he would have delivered. We know he doesn't know anything about economy. We never expected him to deliver in terms of economy or terms of development. But we felt he would have come and eradicate corruption in the country. We felt he would have come and end insecurity. These two major areas are the strengths of General Buhari. In 2015, even in 2019, these were the things he campaigned about. But if you ask me or you ask Nigerians to rate General Buhari on these two issues, they will tell you zero. In fact, it has gone from bad to worst. That means Nigeria is in a big dilemma. And that is why some of us felt we can't allow the country to sink. We must do everything possible to bring back Nigeria again. As of today, every day you wake up, the news is neither not good for you to hear. It's either a community is burning, it's either the police is killing innocent people, extrajudicial killing from the military, it's either Boko Haram is killing. So every day we wake up in all sectors of the country is all about killings, 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 killings. And the president does not seem to be aware of all these things because he's not the leader. He's just sitting as a figurehead in the presidential villa. For so many months now, we've not seen our president address Nigerian people. But just today, we saw an interview with the president with Arise television in Nigeria for the first time. Susan, I must tell you clearly, if you've not watched that interview of General Buhari today, you need to go and watch it. That interview is the biggest embarrassment ever any Nigerian president can give to his people. There was no hope in that interview. The interview was empty. This interview clearly exposed General Buhari that truly, so far as I'm concerned, it has clearly shown when people say General Buhari has a dementia. This today interview has confirmed it. We saw series of questions. If you ask him, like one of them, they were asking him about the issue of insecurity in the Northeast. That Mr. President, what can you say about the insecurity issue in Northeast? And the president was commending the governor of Northeast in his interview. Northeast does not have a governor. Northeast have governors because Northeast is like a zone where you have over 6 governors. So which governor is he commending? That I commend the governor of Northeast. So which of the governors is he commending? So that shows you the journalists were going the right side, he was going left side. That is just one error. They were asking him about youth, that you promised 1 million jobs to Nigerian youth. Again, the president goofed again. He came up with issues of he has sacked service chiefs, he has done this, he has done that. If the youth does not behave themselves, in fact, when they ask him A, he goes to B, if not to Z. So that shows the president does not have knowledge of what is happening in the country. He does not even have the idea of what is happening. And I want to appeal to those managing the president. General Buhari should stop speaking if he knows he doesn't have a word of encouragement to the Nigerian people. General Buhari should not speak because whenever he speaks, it turns Nigeria to be a country of comedy. The entire continent of Africa is laughing us. The international community is laughing us. So we did not elect General Buhari to come and embarrass Nigerian people. Nigerians trusted him and gave him a second opportunity. Even if I can tell you clearly, it's not that Nigerians voted for him. Nigerians allowed him to steal their mandate for a second time. Because when we brought General Buhari in 2015, then everybody felt we needed change. But in 2019, Nigeria says, oh, we're tired of you, you have to go. And clearly, the PDP government, the PDP party won the 2019 elections. Everybody knows very clearly that the PDP won. But at the end of the day, you know the African syndrome of a dictatorship when we have these presidents. So General Buhari came back to power not because Nigerians truly voted him. He came through the back door to steal the vote of the people. He uses the military to steal the elections. He uses the INEC, the electoral body, to steal the elections. He uses the police to steal the elections. And they now crowned it with the judiciary. The judiciary came and affirmed the most fraudulent election ever in the history of Nigeria. So today, let me tell you, Dr. Susan, for Nigeria to go out of the trouble that we are facing today, all those who commit this atrocity to steal the vote of the people and give to the most incompetent president ever Nigeria has ever produced, they must apologize, not just to Nigerians, but to the entire African continent, to the entire international community, to say we never knew General Buhari was like this, because he didn't have the mandate of the people. And that is why you see there is no solution under his watch. So we're in a very big dilemma in Nigeria. I think the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, must come out and apologize to Nigeria that he rigged the election of 2019 just to bring back General Buhari. He knows General Buhari did not win that election. The then Chief of Army Staff, General Buratai, who used the military to bamboozle INEC officials to announce result for General Buhari, must come and apologize to Nigeria. The Chief Judge of the country must as well come and apologize to Nigeria that yes, General Buhari didn't win this election. We gave him because we wanted to reward him for giving us the opportunity to serve as Chief Judge of Nigeria. So what is happening today is very sad. Until we see these persons come back to Nigeria to apologize, I bet you we will continue to remain in this current situation. Sometimes it's very clear. When you confess over an issue, even God will have mercy upon you. Even God will forgive you. God needs to forgive every one person who brought back General Buhari in 2019. And that is why you see there is no solution right now in the country.
You were actively in the campaign, as you said, for General Excellency Buhari. What was it that you saw that the former government did that was not right, and you thought that we needed a change?
Yes, one of the areas that we use in defeating the former president, like I said to you, was the two stronghold of General Buhari: corruption, insecurity. Under Jonathan, yes, there was corruption. I was one of the persons that was exposing the corruption under Jonathan. We saw it clearly. Issues of money laundering. We saw, ministries and government officials looting money. And Everybody believed in General Buhari's integrity. As at that time, they believed that, oh, this man, during his time, when he was a military general, when he was there as head of state, the things he achieved was to fight corruption. So apparently, if we bring General Buhari again, he will come back to do the same thing to ensure that Nigeria must be a corrupt-free country. And everybody was like, oh, we must vote PDP out of power. And some of us, because we needed a change, we did everything we could within our limits to sell General Buhari to Nigeria. First of all, for somebody like me, everybody knows my position. In 2015, I never supported General Buhari. Then, my boss, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, was the major runner-up to Buhari in APC presidential primaries. Even in that primaries that brought General Buhari, that same primaries that make him to become candidates in 2014 in Lagos. That primaries was also influenced by some political actors as at that time who felt General Buhari was somebody who doesn't have money. General Buhari was a saint. Therefore, if we follow Atiku Abubakar, we might not win the elections. So let's give power to General Buhari. And the election, the primaries then, I was a member of the party then. I was, a deputy spokesperson of the party. So after the primaries, General Buhari became the candidate. Even that primaries, he didn't win. They maneuvered the process for him. And that was how he became candidate. So when he became candidate, we campaigned for him. We do everything we could to ensure he became the president. And that is why we told Nigerians, if you vote for Buhari, you are voting against corruption, you are voting against insecurity. But after then, what happens? We start seeing weakness, that this man does not have the will to deliver his campaign promises. That this man is just a deceit. That this man does not have any experience. General Buhari only just wanted to be president and sit down and said, I fulfilled my plans. I fulfilled my dreams. That was, I think, his intention. So a lot of us who campaigned for him, who do the field work for him, not just myself. I can tell you, every one of us that brought General Buhari in 2015, maybe the remaining persons with him, I don't think they are more than 20%. But 80% of us that made General Buhari president in 2015, we've been kept by the side. And we all decided to say we don't want to take part anymore. And that was why we said in 2019, we are not going to support General Buhari. We are going to make sure we have a new president that will come and clean the mess of General Buhari. So if you want to ask me, within the today APC government and the then PDP government, I can tell you, you cannot compare. In fact, Jonathan government is like a saint compared to what has happened today. I told you very well. Under Jonathan, the insecurity issues was just in the northeast part of Nigeria. But today, every part of Nigeria is insecurity. The corruption under Jonathan, compared to now, if they used to steal 1 billion naira under Goodluck Jonathan, today they are stealing 20 billion. I'll tell you this for free. The difference is much. Is it the NNPC sector you want to talk about today in Nigeria? It's gone. We don't have money anymore. There's no money. The cabinet of General Buhari.
Yeah.
The cabinet of General Buhari is the worst cabinet ever that we've seen in Nigeria. For a man who claimed to come and fight corruption, I can tell you, over 50% of people in Buhari's cabinet today, to 70% of them, has corruption cases. They're all corrupt. The records are there. I can go on and mention names for you. Some of these people have EFCC case. before they became minister. So when you give some of these drowning politicians opportunity who has looted the resources of Nigeria before, that are facing one charges or the other, you give them minister, what do you expect? The treasury is gone. Nobody is being questioned under Buhari's government. So you have a bunch of looters that even their former national chairman of the party, Comrade Adams Oshomole, made it very clear with pride to Nigerians and indeed to the world to say, if you steal and you come back to APC, your sins are forgiven. So everybody that's looted money that was in PDP started going to APC. And truly, their sins have been forgiven because a lot of them that left PDP that has corruption cases, today that now that they are back in APC, nobody's questioning them. So corruption is order of the day. Corruption right now has gone nuclear. So I can tell you, President Jonathan's administration is better off than General Buhari's government. And that is why some of us will still keep apologizing to the former President Goodluck Jonathan to forgive us. And I've said to most of my colleagues who took part to bring General Buhari to power, to apologize to Jonathan, to beg him. But because we didn't have the spiritual powers to know who will be good and who will be bad, we felt we should give Buhari a chance, and not knowing that that chance and opportunity was coming to drown the country entirely from looting to killings. Our economy is zero. Today, dollar is 505 in Nigeria to a dollar. From a man who took over, when he took over from the past PDP government, dollar was about 200. Today it's 505. And the dollar is going to approach, from what I was seeing today from the news, dollar will get up to 700 to a naira. So which means our country is gone. So Nigeria needs help. Not just from the international community, help from even our neighboring countries. We need help.
Timi, when you look at, General Buhari had been a president, and his record, as you said, was free of corruption. That's even a track record to which Nigerians were hopeful that, he could be a better president. And now these dynamics have changed. Where do you think the problem could have arisen from? Do you look at the world crisis globally? What could be the cause? Of course, just laxity.
Nigeria problem does not have anything to do with the world crisis or the world economy. What we have in Nigeria is a failed general. When you have a failed general leading a country, this is the result. Okay. Because today, let me tell you, I can set an example with serious presidents. For example, may his soul perfect rest in peace, President Magufuli of Tanzania, the late President Magufuli of Tanzania, when he became president, you saw what he did in Tanzania. During his campaign, he said he was going to fight corruption in Tanzania. He made it very clear that he will go all out for everybody that has eaten government or public fund in Tanzania. The minute John Magufuli came on board, we saw the example. He cut his own salary to over 70%. Mm-hmm. He cut cost of governance to over 70%. He asked the looters of Tanzania then that, look, bring back this money you've stolen. Come back and invest it back in Tanzania. Otherwise, I'll come for you. We saw too many actions of Magufuli corruption agenda when he was president. In our own case, the story is different. Buhari said he wanted to fight corruption, but the mother of corruption in the history of Nigeria is in his government. So what are we talking about? Mm. He said he wants to come and fight insecurity. The people that are dying on a daily basis in Nigeria alone, in the history, we've not seen that. And if Nigeria keep remaining like this for the next 2 years that General Buhari is meant to leave, Only God knows how many Nigerians will be alive. This is a man who came to power. No government have divided Nigeria the way General Buhari's government has done. No government. No government. Today there is nepotism in his government. If you are not from his local tribe or his region, the Northwest, then you cannot hold any sensitive office. The man brought devilish agenda to come and lead. Sorry for my language, but I'm pained as a Nigerian. I'm pained because I'm one of those who campaigned for this man in his first election, who thought we were bringing somebody nice. Unfortunately, it's a disaster. This is the worst in the history. Even under military, we did not see what we are seeing today. There is no freedom of speech anymore in Nigeria. No freedom of speech. You cannot criticize the government or General Buhari. If you do that, they will come for you. If you oppose his government, they will come for you. Today, what is happening? The man has succeeded in putting fear in the minds of Nigerians. If Nigerians decide to come out today to protest for the injustice that is being made to the people, the military will come out and kill you, and nobody will hold them accountable. Nobody will be held responsible for it. You saw when Nigerians were saying, end SARS in Nigeria. Instead of them to end SARS as at that time, the president gave order to shoot aside. We saw what happened in Lagos. Peaceful protesters were killed, were massacred. Till today, nothing has been done. Nothing has been done to those people who have died. What did they die for? For carrying their country flag to say no to injustice, no to impunity. At the end of the day, they were killed, and all the government could do was to set up a kangaroo committee to say every state should put up, how many persons the SARS must have dealt with, how many, all kind of, but those things will go nowhere. And the sad thing in Nigeria today, the three-tier of government in Nigeria, they are just praising out General Buhari's government. The judiciary is gone. Before now, if you have issues and you said the court is the last resort for the common man, today is no more like that. The court is now for the highest bidder in Nigeria. If you come to the issue of the National Assembly, where we have our senators and House of Rep members that would have been for the people, today we call the National Assembly members Hallelujah boys. They only to say amen. Whatever Buhari says, amen. So we call them Hallelujah boys. There is nothing that the president has brought to the Senate or to the House of Reps. Even if it is what will kill them, they will say amen. So which hope do we have as Nigerian people? When the Senate and the National Assembly, the House of Rep members are men to speak out for those people that they are representing, suddenly they are now amen boys, hallelujah boys. Where are we going to go? The big question we're asking, where are we going to go as Nigerian people? This is the worst National Assembly ever. The 9th Assembly in Nigeria is the worst. We've never seen this kind of assembly before. Anyway, we saw the Senate president when he was elected as the Senate president. He made it very clear to Nigerians that he's not going to fight General Buhari. Whatever the president wants, we will give to him. So which means to hell with the Nigerian people. Whatever the president wants, we will give to him. So your contribution as Nigerians does not count. It's what the president wants that counts. My sister, today, Nigeria is a big laughing stock in this continent. We have the most worst Ninth Assembly. We have the most worst judiciary. We have the most worst federal government. But some of us still believe there is hope, that we'll do everything we can internationally to ensure that we must hold these looters accountable. Every one person that has looted Nigerian funds under General Buhari, recently you can see clearly there was an online newspaper who came up to accuse one of the DJ of one parastatal that is called Nimasa in Nigeria, how they diverted 1.5 trillion naira. As we speak, the president is paying deaf ear to those allegations. We saw documents from the online newspaper who said this is how they move the money. He gave all the details. You can go and check for yourself. We saw when the current Minister for Transportation, the former governor of Rivers State, Governor Rotimi Amechi, where they accused his wife of getting contracts from NDDC, a body called the Niger Delta Development Commission. And somebody published it, the online newspaper came up with facts and details to show the whole world. Till today, nobody is saying anything. We saw the Minister for Niger Delta, Godswill Akpabio, also how he has been dishing out contracts and everything to himself. Till today, nobody is questioning him. So this is the only government that celebrates looters. The more you call anybody thief in Buhari's government, that is when Buhari and APC will keep, supporting that person. So APC as a government is totally gone. They've killed Nigeria. APC under General Buhari has destroyed that country. May God keep us alive to see that some of these persons in APC, someday they will pay the price. Today, they do everything they are doing with heavy impunity because they believe we do not have a president. So if you're a minister in Ministry of Transport, loot the ministry the way you want. Nobody's going to question you. If you're an aviation minister, loot the aviation sector. Nobody's going to question you. Look at the woman in MPA that recently, the MD of MPA was suspended recently. The same government accused her for embezzling 160-something billion naira. Nothing has happened to her. We've not seen any of the agencies called her to come and explain herself. No any of these agencies has ever called her to come and explain 160 billion that she was accused of. I can go on and on to give you precedents of corruption. I was the one who also came up to talk about 90 billion naira missing in one of the agencies called FIROS in 2019 against the Vice President of Nigeria, Vice President Yemi Osibajo. I said it clearly that 90 billion was diverted from FIROS. I give my reasons. I made it very clear. At the end of the day, the Vice President came out to tell Nigerians he was going to take me to court. Till today, I've not been served with any court papers. The Vice President said he was going to drop his immunity for them to prosecute him. He never did. We've not seen that. So corruption under General Buhari, Dr. Susan, if Nigeria was not a strong country, the country would have collapsed by now. I can tell you there is no any other country in the world can survive what is happening today in Nigeria. Every sector is gone. Every sector. Today, even the Minister for Petroleum, the recent marginal oil field that they were talking about in Nigeria, that they awarded to people recently, they sold it to individuals. He sold them. The same online newspaper came up to bring evidence again to say, look, most of the companies that got this marginal field were sold by the Minister of Petroleum. This same Minister for Petroleum used to be governor of my state. When this man left as governor, the EFCC then charged him to court. They took 48 properties from my former governor, Timi Frank, is my namesake. Today, as I'm talking to you, Buhari's government has given him back his properties. 48 properties that they said he bought as a governor. For a government who is fighting corruption, they cleared him and they give him back his property. They made him the Minister for Petroleum today. And today, that same man has attacked the oil industry. And you have a government that says it's fighting corruption. What corruption is this government fighting? This government is only rewarding looters. They are not fighting corruption. At the appropriate time, I will tell you something today, Susan. We are not going to sleep. We are working very hard to ensure that every one person in APC government will not have a hiding place. Every one person that has worked with General Buhari will not have a hiding place. When they go to America, we will look for them. If they go to London, we will look for them. If they go to Europe, we will look for them. There will be no hiding place for them. And I want to use this opportunity to tell you clearly, I want to thank the American government. The American government so far has done well, even if we still want them to do more, to ensure that they must keep exposing corruption. Today, the only safe place that is remaining for Nigerians looters. And I want to use this opportunity to appeal to the UK government that the UK government should stop to be accommodating these looters from Nigeria. Today, anybody in Buhari's government cannot go to America. A lot of them can go to the US. Why can't they go to the US? It's because if they ever go to the US, they will never come back. But if they go to London, they will have soft landing, take their children to school in London, buy houses in London, do business in London. So I want to appeal to the UK government to stop encouraging corruption. So far as I'm concerned, that is the only place where government officials today, goes to hide their money, take their children. Until if they want to fight corruption, to support Nigeria today, the UK government, or neither any government, including the American government, that is what we are saying. If they bring their money to come and buy properties, turn them back, don't sell to them. When we start taking this kind of actions, they will know there is no safe place for them to keep their money. Cancel their visas. Send their children that they are sending to come and school in London, send them back home. Let them go and build our universities and our schools so their own children can go to school in Nigeria. When General Buhari comes to London to say he wants to go to the hospital to treat himself, the doctors in London should not accommodate him. The doctors in London should send him back to Nigeria and say, you are the sitting president of Nigeria. This is very embarrassing for you to come to our country to treat yourself. Go and build an hospital in your country so you can be treated there as an example. This is the kind of support we need and partner we need from the UK government. And the UK government should please stop hiding the medical background of General Buhari's health status. From what I saw today, it is very clear that General Buhari is truly suffering from dementia. And the UK government knows they should help us. We need to see our president, health, background. John Magufuli died in the East Africa. He didn't die in London. He didn't die in America, but he died in his homeland. John Magufuli refused to go to treatment in the UK even when he was sick. John Magufuli for one day has not gone to America to say that I want to go and treat myself. If John Magufuli was sick, he would be treated in Tanzania. If John Magufuli is sick, the worst place he can go to, maybe he can go to Kenya, the same East Africa, just 1 hour away. But when General Buhari has ethic alone, he will fly to the UK, and the UK government will accommodate him and give him all kind of protection. So if they truly want to help us, they should send him back and say, don't come to the UK again for treatment. Go and build your hospital. This is the same General Buhari who said, one of his campaign promises, I remember very well, when we were campaigning in 2015, he said he's going to sell all the presidential fleets, that he will be flying private. What has happened to that campaign promise today? Today, our president is the most flight president. I don't know if I can say General Buhari right now is a pilot. So, my sister, we need every help we can get. We need every advice as a country. Nigeria is known to be the father of Africa, but today, we're like the last born of Africa. Even small Ghana is now taking the lead over Nigeria. Small Ghana. Today, Rwanda is doing greater things that you can see. Nigeria has nothing to show that we have a government. We have a failed general in power. A general who does not understand the pain of his people. This is the same general today. He has not finished solving his own problem back home in Nigeria. Recently, we saw General Buhari when he says he was going to Mali to reconcile Mali. How? You've not reconciled your home. You are going to Mali. And I want to tell the Malian people to take their destiny to their hand and resolve their problem. Because if they allow General Buhari to come to Mali to resolve their Mali problem, then which means Mali will never come out of that problem. The same way we have not been able to come out under the problem General Buhari has put us in Nigeria. So I also want to appeal to the AU not to wait till when Nigeria go to war before they will come and start sending envoy upon envoy to Nigeria. We need some envoy now to come and tell General Buhari, stop killing Nigerian people. We need the AU to set up a team to come and look what is happening in Nigeria. The AU must not be seen till maybe there is a coup in Nigeria or there is a change of government in Nigeria before they'll start flying their jets and start coming to tell people. We are not going to accept that. So the AU should come to Nigeria now. It's either they tell the president to resign because he has failed, or the president should give up power and let those that have the capacity to come and rule Nigeria. Let me tell you today, recently the kingsmen of the governor, the president, the kingsmen of the president came up recently to say General Buhari should resign as president because he has failed. This is not me speaking. You can go and check. The northern leaders, Northern Elder Forum, the leaders came up to say the killing is too much, the corruption is too much, that General Buhari is no more longer in charge. Therefore, we want him to resign. If it was anybody from the south that said that, they will say, oh, because you are from the south. But we thank God it wasn't the southern leaders that said that. This was the northern leaders who came up to say General Buhari has failed. Because whether you like it or not, the northern part of Nigeria is the biggest casualty under General Buhari's government. And that is why they were the first people that have the guts to come up to say, General Buhari, you must resign. This same northern leader says, again, if the president failed to resign, the National Assembly should impeach him. But again, how can they impeach him? Because these so-called National Assembly members are hallelujah boys, amen boys. When you have amen and hallelujah people leading us, what can they do? They sit down there, they have, pass all kind of laws that will not benefit the Nigerian people. So things are very bad, Dr. Susan. Things are very bad.
Thank you very much, Timi. Yes, we are going to open up the lines. I see questions in the chat. If we're going to open up the lines for comments and for questions, and also for yeah, for information. I think Timi, you're giving a perspective on the state of the nation and the political situation of Nigeria today, where we find ourselves in this leadership of the continent. And it's very kind of surprising to see Nigeria, comparatively in terms of population, is like the United States of America. Nigerians produce most of the billionaires that we have on the continent. We have the Dangotes, we have the Atikos. I mean, Nigerians produce Hollywood movie stars that has changed the landscape of Nigeria. Nigeria produce actors and authors. Yeah, great authors of us time. We know about Chinua Achebe, Wole Soyinka. We know about Fela Kuti. All these are household names of Nigeria. And so Nigeria, like Brother Timi is saying, is the lion of the continent. And so it is disturbing, just like Professor P.L.O. Lumumba said, if Nigeria sneezes, then Africa catches cold. Africa catches cold because Nigeria, like the Democratic Republic of Congo, these are the biggest entities when we look in terms of resources. We look in terms of human power. We look in terms of growth and potentials and opportunity. Nigeria alone should be called Africa. Some writers and authors, and historians have said that. So what is actually going on? Like we said, are things falling apart in Nigeria, like Chinua Achebe said? Are things actually falling apart when the center doesn't hold anymore? Things begin to fall apart. Is it the change or the wind of change that is actually blowing over Africa? And when we come to particularly the political structures of the continent, you can even see even our followers or the Pan-African Daily team, we are almost just so always ice cold when we're talking about these political things, because, we are a spiritual people, and the systems seem to be so strange to us. They don't say anything about the kingdoms. They don't say anything about the indigenous cultures of the Nigerian people. They don't say anything about the spirituality of the Nigerian people. They don't say anything about the one people that are Bantus. Now we see factions and religious setups in all these political structures, and we begin to wonder why the center never holds. Is it also the wind of change, just like it's sweeping across the African, to gain consciousness, to be truthful, the imbalance in a system that doesn't function, that has no justice, no truth? Yeah, it will not hold. We are seeing all these factors. Countries that don't address these issues of injustice, the balance, yeah, the spirituality, going back to who they were. If we look at the population of Nigeria today and we look at the religious setups, and that's why we see even the highest prophets on the continent, they come from Nigeria, and millions of Christians or believers. Why? And they say a country whose system is unhealthy, you find the religious setups getting really actually like it's a hook. I mean, if you look at Germany, if you look at countries that their economy have defined who they are in terms of their culture, in terms of their economy, they don't go to church. I mean, I was shocked when I came here the first time and I asked, where's the church? And you go to church, the churches are empty. The churches in Europe have become a museum where people just go for historical events. But look at the churches on the continent. Now, who are these worshippers? What is the problem that is driving us? Is it hopelessness? Are they looking for a miracle somewhere? Are they jobless? Are they frustrated? Are they so sick that they cling to anything? These are all questions that we're looking in the Africa of today and asking, what kind of an Africa that we want? What is it that we all should come together to build the Africa that we want? So I'm opening up the lines to take your views, your comments, your perspective on How do we want to see Nigeria? From what Timi Frank has been talking about, how should Nigerian get up? One of the things that he actually said that is so pertinent is, how can our leaders take all the money to always come? You know, this is one of the things, it's so important for Africans to always think like, come and treat yourself in Europe. And what about the common Africans on the street? Now, what is this thing that the leader is shamelessly would come for treatment in another leader's country? Population wise, UK cannot meet up with Nigeria in terms of anything. Resources, zero. Now, what is this? Nigerians have the highest number of doctors and experts and scientists that we can say. Dr. Chihombori Kwa is saying it every day. If you go on the ADDI structure, all of the scientists and the medical experts, tops that we have in the diaspora are Nigerians. Now, so it will mean that they can't construct a center, a top-notch center in Nigeria. So what is going on? You don't even trust your own people to give you the kind of medical help. And then we trust your life in the hands of others. When have we ever seen any European leader go to Africa apart from borrowing or doing some deals or collaboration? When have we ever seen any of them reportedly sick on the continent that will not be flying out the next day? So what is it? What is this? What is the spirit on the continent? Please, the lines are open. Call in, make a contribution. If not, we go back in studio. Tini, we saw that you were having some challenges outside in terms of technique.
I think we are good, very good. And let me use this opportunity to still let you know, Nigeria today will be celebrating our Democracy Day, June 12th, which is Saturday. And I can tell you clearly, you know, there is nothing to celebrate in June 12th. There is nothing to celebrate in June 12th because June 12th right now is our Democracy Day. The only celebration we can do on June 12th is to celebrate a true Democrat, the great man who would have done changes, which he has the opportunity, the true winner of the June 12th election, MKO Abiola. May his soul perfect rest in peace. That is the only person I think Nigerians will be celebrating. But outside that, what are we going to be celebrating under General Buhari? Are we going to celebrate that General Buhari has given Nigerians power? Are we going to celebrate that General Buhari has improved in the worker salary in Nigeria? Are we going to approve? Are we going to celebrate that corruption is no more under General Buhari? Are we going to celebrate that Fulani S-men are not killing people and Boko Haram and kidnapping is not ravaging our country? Tell me what we are going to celebrate. There is nothing to celebrate. We are keep going to celebrate sorrow on that day. Because I tell you clearly, what we've seen for the past 5 years, going to 7 years now under General Buhari's, for the past 5 to 6 years under General Buhari, I tell you, it's a nightmare that Nigerians have celebrated. And that is why today, Nigerians in diaspora and Nigerians back home have decided, since we have nothing to celebrate about, we are going to take June 12th as a day that we will come out in mass to protest against General Buhari's government. And I tell you clearly, right now as we speak, with the intelligence report I have and the information I have today, that's what this government is about to do on that day. This same government of General Buhari, as I speak, are mobilizing talks that will be on the streets on June 12th. Not just only in Abuja, but all over the country. They are now meeting within themselves. I was reliably informed today. Somebody called me and said, we are not going to be intimidated. But Timi, let me inform you that the government, people in power, some of Buhari's ministers, Some of the governors in APC who believe in Buhari agenda are now giving people money to make sure if there is any protester in the streets on that June 12th, they should go there and cause trouble, cause confusion, fight and beat the legitimate protesters. We saw recently the same way they did in Kaduna. It's the same thing they want to do now. When the Nigerian Labour Congress was protesting in Kaduna, in one of the APC states, we saw how that Kaduna state government mobilized thugs to beat up the NLC protesters. But we thank God, you know, it didn't turn out to be a bloodbath kind of situation. But I know when it has to do with General Buhari and the APC government at the center, they can kill. So I'm not going to be surprised to see on that day this so-called weak Nigerian military who has not been able to fight to defeat the bandits, the Fulani men, the Boko Haram, will be on the streets to kill the innocent citizen that is fighting for their rights.
Mm-hmm.
I see no reason why a military man that is suffering, that if you die even in war front, this so-called government will not take care of your family back home. If they give you directive to go and kill innocent protesters that are not carrying guns on the streets, you go there and you open fire. It's a sad one, but I want to tell every Nigerians not to relent. On that day, Nigerians should come out. If General Buhari like, after all, Nigerians are dying every day. Nigerians are dying, even those that are sleeping in their houses that did not even go to war. Even in their sleeping bed, they are killing them. So if they kill you in the streets on June 12th, for the fact that you come out to protest for a good governance, for the fact that you've come out to protest that we need a government that will give us a good education, not a government that will come and cancel Twitter. In 21st century, General Buhari did not cancel corruption. General Buhari did not cancel poverty. General Buhari did not cancel the oppression in the country. But General Buhari had the guts to cancel the means and livelihood of the young Nigerians who are making their millions and their nairas and their dollars through Twitter. For a government who has not created employment for the people. Twitter is one place, one area today, a lot of people earn their living from Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a satanic government who just woke up one morning and said, Twitter is against General Buhari before. So that therefore we are canceling Twitter. How can any senseless president, on the day the Biafrans, the Igbo people were meant to mourn over 5 million people that died, you came and bring back the memory and said, you know the language they understand. And you're trying to remind them that I've crushed you people before. Or Nigeria have crushed you people before, who will crush you again. No leader would threaten his citizens. Sometimes I become to wonder. I become to have that view. So many people sometimes ask me, Timi, are you sure the man in the presidential field, are you sure that is Buhari? Initially, I used to defend, and I said, yes, I think that is the man we worked for. But right now, if you ask me that question, the man today in the presidential villa, is it true that that man is General Buhari? I will tell you, I don't think so. Because no president will be wicked to his citizens the way General Buhari is wicked to Nigerian people. No government has killed young people like the same way General Buhari has killed young people in Nigeria. The youth of Nigeria has paid the biggest price under this same administration of APC government. This government is the biggest beneficiary of young people in Nigeria. Nobody has benefited than General Buhari the way this government has done. But still, this is the government who never provided education for them. This is a government who has never created employment for the young people. This is a government that has not given us what young people should be able to get. Despite the sacrifice young people has made. Nigerians are the most creative young people anywhere in the world you can think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anywhere. There's no good hospital in London that you cannot find Nigerians as consultants. It's not possible. There's no hospital in America that you will not find Nigerians as consultants.
That's correct.
Go to Germany, the same thing. Come to Dubai, the same thing. Nigerians are the best place within our continent today when you talk terms of education, terms of creativeness. Tell me why we young people run and believe in our country. It is because we have a wicked and satanic government who does not want to create jobs for the people. Even the ones that have created jobs for themselves. Because we have a bad system that does not encourage young people in terms of business-wise. Tell me in 2021, why would dollar be 505 in our country today? It is sad and heartbreaking. And still yet, when the people decide to say they want to stand up and fight for their rights, the government will oppress them and kill them and send soldiers to the streets. But I want to use this opportunity to say, leaders that are keeping quiet, that are scared, from the private sector to our traditional leaders, what is about to happen to Nigeria might consume all of them. Let them keep keeping quiet. If they don't speak out now to put an end and call General Buhari to order that you cannot more lead, very soon, go and mark today. Very, very soon, you will not see anybody to buy the sugar that was made by Aliko Dangote. You will not see anybody that will say they want to take their money to Zenith Bank in Nigeria. And that is why I'm using this opportunity to call out our businessmen. People like Aliko Dangote must not keep quiet. People like Jimovia must not keep quiet. People like Tony Lemelu must not keep quiet. People like Samad must not keep quiet. The so-called billionaires in Nigeria must not keep quiet. This is the time they must come out and speak. Because if it is not the Nigerian people, they will not become who they are today.
Absolutely.
It is the Nigerian masses that is going to buy their so-called sugar. It is the Nigerian masses that is going to buy their salt, their cement. We've seen an example in America where the businessmen who call a sitting government to order will come up with the solutions. They are not scared of the government. But in the case of Nigerians, our billionaires are scared to go to the presidential villa to say, Mr. President, what is happening? We can no longer pay salaries. Mr. President, the dollar is high. Mr. President, how can we join you to build a new Nigeria? Our billionaires are keeping quiet. When you talk to them, they'll tell you I'm not a politician. But they are going to be the biggest casualty very soon. If Nigeria crashes today, I bet you they are going to crash. So they have the opportunity now to save the country as businessmen. Nobody is going to use Globalcom to make call if Mike Adenuga did not break his silence. All of them must come together. Aliko Dangote, Mike Adenuga, Jimovia, Tony Lemelu, Sam Hart, all of them as businessmen in the private sector. The time is now, any other time. So go and let the president, Mr. President, please, what is happening? We need to know. The country, people are dying. Our employees are dying. Nigeria has never been divided the way it is today. In the 21st century, 2021, we are hearing people selling onions in the north. I've decided that they are not going to take their onions to the east, to the south. Nigeria has gotten to that level where people in the south will start saying we are not going to import our goods to the north, which means The bomb is about to explode. I remember the days that we were one Nigeria. Can we say the same thing today? The answer is no. General Buhari has brought sentiments in the country. General Buhari has brought issue of North and South again. I never believe I'm going to witness the issue of North and South in 2021, when we should be talking about one Nigeria. Are we truly one? We need to ask this question. Today, every region is agitating, we want to go. We started with Biafra. Whether anybody likes it or not, the truth is very clear. If the young people of Southeast, they have the right to come out to say we want to go. For them to say they want to go, it's not because they want to go, because things are bad. If Nigeria is creating employment for them, the young people of the Igbo land, the young people of the Yoruba land, the young people of the Niger Delta, the young people of the northern Nigeria, nobody will be talking about to go.
Mm-hmm.
But they've seen that even when General Buhari wants to make his appointment, go and check the list of employees, federal government employees. 80% is from one zone. Does Nigeria not belong to every one of us anymore? People can no more longer speak. There is fear in the system right now. Today, the young people have decided to be conquering fear. And that is why you can see, not just the Igbos that is demanding they want to go. Today, the Yorubas are saying they want to go. I believe in one Nigerian principle. But if you ask me today, what is my view? With what is happening today, I have no...
Okay.
I don't even know how to put it. So it is very sad. It is very sad.
Take a break, Timi. Drink some water. Let's pick some reactions out there, and we'll get back to you. Hello?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Welcome to the show. Thanks for calling in.
Yes.
Yes, my name is Dennis Boatwright.
Yes.
Yes, and I had a question for Mr. Frank Timi.
Yes.
Can I ask the question now?
Go ahead. Yes.
Yes, Mr. Frank Timi. I
Yeah,
want to
I
thank
can hear you.
you for the show, and you did a great job presenting your views. But my question to you is, does the common Nigerian view corruption as an issue that needs to be addressed ASAP?
Is that a question?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Common Nigeria. Okay.
So to me, the question is, does a common Nigerian look at corruption as an issue that has to be addressed as soon as possible?
Everyone common Nigeria believes the issue of corruption should be addressed. Because what we are suffering today is a result of bad governance, of bad leadership, of bad composition of the current system we have. So everyone in Nigeria believes corruption should be eradicated, because if it is not because of bad governance, no Nigerian youth want to leave Nigeria to say they want to go and look for a living in Germany or in France or in Paris. No Nigerian will do that, or in America or in London. It is result of that a lot of young people want to go to school in Dubai, want to go to school in Canada, because the educational system in Nigeria is decayed. That the money that was meant to use to give them best free education, the best of education, is being consumed by some handful of people, and nobody is questioning them. So I can tell you clearly, every Nigerian young man wants to see that corruption is dead in the country. But can we kill that under General Buhari? The answer is no, we cannot. Because Buhari celebrates corruption morning, he celebrates corruption in the night, he celebrates corruption in the day, and that is why corruption is now order of the day. The corruption today, even the president's wife came to tell Nigerians that there is no medical facility, even in the presidential villa where the president is staying. That is the height of it. The same wife of the president came up to tell Nigerians and the world that even me, myself, as a first lady, I am not safe, even in the presidential villa. We saw recently where, according to them, they said burglars, but armed robbers invaded the presidential villa. They raided the house of the chief of staff to the president. This has never happened in the history of Nigeria. The villa is the most secured environment in Nigeria, but this same place was raided by armed robbers. So that is to tell you our security system has collapsed.
Wow.
That is to tell you we are in a crossfire. If the people, like the first lady that has all the security, can say that I am no more longer safe, if the first lady can come out and cry that there is no medical facilities in the presidential villa, then you know that corruption under General Buhari's watch corruption is like the highest we've seen. No country, no continent today is more corrupt than, General Buhari. General Buhari is presiding over the biggest corruption ever in the history of this country. Every sector in Nigeria, as I said today, is corrupt. Name it, and I'll give you one person that I can tell you clearly. The ministers in his cabinet, all of them, less than maybe 2 or 3% of them that might be a little bit okay. But 97% of them are corrupt. These are people who came to power very poor. I know some of them because we were in opposition together at that time. Today they are billionaires. Today they have private jets. Today they bought all the houses in Abuja, in London, in Dubai. Just from 2015 till date, 2021. So corruption is more frequent than even breakfast in our country today. So the young people want corruption to be eradicated. That is my answer to my brother.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Of course, it's feasible that the outflows. When do you think because people don't see any hope that everyone is just fighting to just steal as much as they can? Because when a government is collapsing, like you say, even breaking into the presidential palace to steal, there is already a clear sign. Like everybody just wants to take the least that they can or the most that they can of the government because they don't even trust it.
They know very well, like I said, we don't have a rallying point. If we have a rallying point, or if there is central command in the government that will checkmate the government officials for stealing public funds, everybody will be jittery.
Correct.
But right now, we don't have that. I saw the president talking about corruption today, trying to compare. When I came, before I came, corruption was like this, but it's not easy. We are fighting. My sister, Dr. Susan, I will tell you clearly, General Buhari has lost touch with governance in Nigeria. General Buhari is the most incompetent head of state president that we've ever seen. Under his watch, things has gone very bad. If it was only one sector that is bad, we will say, okay, it's because this sector is very difficult, that is why. But this one, none is working. Government is not working in Nigeria. The system is not working in Nigeria. I can tell you clearly, nothing is working. That's why companies are, leaving the country. Why should Nigeria be taking loan upon loan all the time? Have you sat down and asked that question for a country that sells oil every day? Ask this question. Rwanda does not have oil. But you can never see, every minute you see Paul Kagame collecting IMF loan, World Bank loan, Chinese loan, this loan, that loan. You cannot see. Yes, even if he collects, and the minute he collects that loan, we see where the money is going to in Kigali. When some other president within the continent was rejecting loan, our own is to collect. We saw Magufuli in Tanzania rejecting to take loans from the Western world. Today, as we speak, General Buhari is about to take loan to fund our 2021 budget. The big question to all of this, where is the oil money we are selling? It's because of embezzled it. Our foreign reserve is gone. Our foreign reserve, Susan, is gone. No government has collected loan like this government. But meanwhile, there is no water to drink. There is no electricity. Today, the minimum wage in Nigeria, the salary for the labor workers, the government cannot pay. Education system, zero. Healthcare, zero. Tell me, where is this money going to? We are not seeing road being built. Even the train that they parade is nowhere. And every day you hear 5 trillion naira loan. We need loan, $5 billion loan. We need $20 billion loan. Loan upon loan. Well, what are we doing with this money? Yet, with all these loans, a rich country like Nigeria today is the poverty capital of the world. This is the biggest embarrassment for my people. Even Uganda, that you have Museveni there in Uganda, that even the people of Uganda is not even happy with him. I can tell you, compare Museveni in Uganda is better than Buhari. You cannot compare General Buhari to any president, even the worst dictator president today still living or dead. Even Paul Biya, that is our neighbor in Cameroon, is even doing better even in the sick bed than General Buhari. So what are we talking about? Our military is the weakest as it stands today. With all the billions of naira that they are injecting into the military circle, where is this money going? We are not seeing new ammunitions. We are not seeing new jet fighters. We are not seeing new rifles. We are not seeing anything to show that billions upon billions upon billions of dollars is going into our security system. Meanwhile, just one small group called Boko Haram is ravaging our military every day. This is the same military that will come to the street to kill innocent protesters. They cannot kill members of Boko Haram. Every day we see our security system arresting innocent young boys and young girls in the east, in the southwest where we come from. But you can never see the military arresting bandits or Fulani S-men. We've never seen them parading Fulani S-men before. But they will keep arresting the peaceful Nigerians that will come to the streets to say this impunity must stop. But I want to tell them, General Buhari will not go scot-free. We are doing everything we can right now to ensure that we must use the International Criminal Court. We are compiling lists right now of those that are taking part to kill those peaceful young people that was protesting in Lekki toll gates. We are compiling the names of every one of them, including the name of the former Chief of Army Staff, General Buratai. He cannot go scot-free. General Buratai must not go scot-free in our country because he was the one that gave the directive. And the APC governor in Lagos State, Governor Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, his godfather Bola Ahmed Tinubu, every one of them who conspire to kill the young Lekki youths, they will not go scot-free. We are doing everything we can. We are meeting anytime from now. Sometime next month, we are going to be meeting in the United States of America to sit down and compile and put pressure to start seeing actions that we can take against the looters in Nigeria, the people who kill these innocent people, and all the extrajudicial killings that they've made in General Buhari's government. We are compiling this list. We are working. By the time we finish, we are proceeding to the ICC, to the International Criminal Court, to ensure that these corporates must be held responsible for what they've done to the Nigerian people.
Wow.
So some of us have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do to rescue our country. As I speak today, every young Nigerian that has the opportunity to run out of the country wants to leave. Go to the embassies. You see queue of Nigerians, young Nigerians going to seek for visa. Today, they no more longer give them visa because they know Nigerians are running away from the country. If Nigeria was working, why would they be running away? This is the example to show that the country has collapsed. And every day you see the spokesperson of the federal government that his name himself is lie, that is always lying since when he was born. The Minister for Information will keep coming to the stage and podium every day to address press conference and keep telling lies at his age of 70 years old man. If Lai Mohammed was my father, I would have rejected him by now. Because I would have been ashamed as a young man to see at 70, my father is still telling lies to the people, to the young generation. My father is still telling lies to those who are creative in the country. My father is still telling lies to come and be defending a government that has failed, that Nigerians knows. May God forgive every one of them. But, Dr. Susan, I want to assure you, this is a battle of no retreat, no surrender. They can arrest my brothers back home in Nigeria that are going to be on the streets to fight for this injustice to end, but they cannot arrest some of us because we will be alive to speak. We will do everything possible to ensure that justice must be given to the people. I decided to be a freedom fighter, not because I want to be. I decided to say, no, it is time for young people like us to get into politics. That is the only reason why I'm there, to ensure that we must take part, to bring a different political space as young people. And I tell most of my young friends every day, join political parties. Join any of the political parties, run for offices. The only way we can bring change is when we start getting involved. They never liked me during my time when I was in APC because I was the only young man who came up to say, no, this party, you've not done well to deliver your campaign promises. Dr. Susan, 2 years immediately we came to power, I fought my party single-handedly from 2015 to 2017 till the day I resigned my position. Nigerians can testify. Google don't tell lie. You can check all these facts. I start speaking against the impunity and lawlessness of this government from day one. If I wanted money or power, I would have been a sycophant in the system and be worshiping General Buhari and be seeing the presence of the government. They will give me everything I want. But I said, is that what I want? Is that the kind of image I want to keep as a young man? I need all the money it takes, Susan, as a young man. I want to live the best of life. But do I want to live it in the expense of a bad government? A government that has failed the people? A government that lied? Look, every campaign promises we made in 2015, we did not keep to one. Today, they've increased fuel price. Fuel price under General Buhari 3 times. And as I speak now, they want to increase the fuel price for the 4th time. They are just scared in doing that, but very soon they will announce it. Fuel was 145 when we came in 2015. And then Buhari said he was even going to bring it low, that 145 was too high. But today, fuel is sold over 300 naira in Nigeria. Why did General Buhari decide to tell lies at his old age? So,
Timi?
yeah.
When we talk about the African challenges and our solutions, and we want to look internally how much we can solve our own problems. When we mention external issues like the ICC or the America, I have a problem with it now. But the question is, I'm throwing back to you because I know that you've also been talking. Have you tried to reach out to the continent and spokesmen and people that, you know, I know you've been meeting a lot of them, but I just wanted to share with the audience. Like, for instance, when you met Professor Pielo Lumumba, you met some other very strategic leaders, we're not calling any names here. What is it that they saw as an internal problem that could be dealt with the context of Africa, or they just like, there is no way we can solve it?
Let me tell you, I think General Buhari and his APC government does not have respect for any leader in the continent of Africa, in a sense that they believe Nigeria is the big brother of country within the continent.
Mm-hmm.
There is no president in Africa that have the guts to call General Buhari to order. If you remember, I made it very clear earlier on when I was making my speech. I said the AU must rise up now to do something before it's too late, that they should not wait till maybe General Buhari has been on seat by maybe the military, or he has been on seat by political revolution.
Okay, I think we're losing him. The situation is, how do we solve a problem internally? I mean, the Pan-African Daily TV is African seeking solutions to our challenges by ourselves. I mean, we don't want to get into this cankerworm of trusting other people, even if they are leaders, and taking them to any order. You know, it's like we can make it on ourselves, but we know, no, we can make it. So the issue that we're asking, or we're throwing out to the audience, these are internal issues that we are in our family. We have a right to discuss how we want to share our opinion or our perspective on them. But we always would talk about these issues to look like, what is the way forward in a situation like this? So the way forward is like voters would pass a vote of no confidence to this government to say, you have not maintained what you promised. We are seeing that the situation is not getting better. But exactly like what he said, and I like that point, was like, how on earth are the prominent people that actually are injecting money in this economy and are benefiting from the services that are rendered, like the billionaires? Why are they quiet? I mean, when we talk about the private sector, what does it mean, the private sector of an economy? We see in other economies, they're the backbones of the liquidity. And so they have a big say, 90% of the decisions. Because when they say we're not putting our money into this economy anymore, the presidents adjust. We look at world leaders that their political statement just changed suddenly. We don't want to call countries. If we're looking at examples, it's because the private sector that is owning that economy and the budget would say, no, you are stepping down if you're not, you know, doing, I mean, to the general good of the people. Because at not share, you make something very important, and I want us to understand here, who are the people that are buying these services from the private sector? Who makes you a millionaire? Who makes you a billionaire? Without your people, you can't. You're not breathing air and just become a billionaire. And so if you're dealing at the expense of the people and the very lives that you collect their 1 naira, they are a danger. They're the ones that are dying the most, the 60-70% that are the root. But my issue here is, how do we address these issues by us? I mean, shouldn't Africa be creating a court, a parliament, like we talked about the Pan-African Parliament yesterday? Isn't this issues that should be tabled and we look at the way forward? Why do we always look for solutions? I mean, and the very people are the ones even doing business with him. It's the same thing, collateral. So African people, what is the way forward? In as much as we're looking at these challenges, it is so hard, it is so deep, particularly Nigeria. It's not only because Timi Frank is talking here. We all know, go and do your research and look at Nigeria today. Everybody has been talking about it. Nigerians, we've talked to Nigerians from the Biafra movement to the Yorubas to the Christians, to all. Everybody is just saying, if Africa doesn't step in to help Nigeria, something is going to happen that is going to be, we will regret after. Now the voices are calling out. What is it that we can do? What is it
Susan,
that
Susan, like I said to you, I've made a lot of trips within the continent. I've held series of meetings with a lot of the leaders within our continent to discuss the issues, bordering Nigeria. And one of the persons that is very, very worried, and time to time he has to call me, is Professor Pierre Lumumba, who is very pleased, and he has been doing everything possible within his own reach to ensure that there is peace in the Nigeria continent, in the Nigeria country.
That I know.
PLO has been having a sleepless nights about what is happening in Nigeria. PLO has tried its best, so far as I'm concerned. It's just one out of so many leaders. If every one leader within the African continent have the guts of Professor Pierre Lumumba to go round and said, look, we must not allow General Buhari to kill innocent Nigerians. We must not allow General Buhari to continue with this impunity as a dictator. We must not allow the injustice going on in Nigeria. I think Nigeria will be in a better place. But what can he do? I know times without number, General Buhari has Professor Pierre Lumumba has passed several messages, to the country. He has come up with so many solutions, but nobody listened to him.
Correct. Absolutely.
So,
yes.
Nobody, because General Buhari is listening to the kind of ideas. He doesn't even need PLO to come and pay him visits. He should go and listen to every speech PLO has made within the continent. Those speeches are speeches, if any government implements them, that government will be successful. That government will be successful. Somebody said to me the other day and said, they want to drag my attention to why is it that whenever PLO speaks, he talks about the late President John Magufuli. Why does he always make reference to Paul Kagame of Rwanda? Why does he also make reference to, to the Malawi president? Why does he make reference to Prime Minister Abiy of Ethiopia? And I said to them, the examples of these persons are there for you to see. The PLO, does not praise anybody, but neither will drag your attention. When you are doing good, he will say you are doing the right thing. When you are doing bad, it's going to say you are doing the wrong thing. And it is very clear. The example is very clear today in Rwanda. Go to Rwanda. Rwanda is the most cleanest country in our continent today, Africa. Rwanda is very developed. This is a country that does not have oil or diamonds or gold. Tell me how did Paul Kagame, has done to achieve all of this. Go to Tanzania before, Magufuli died. The example of what Magufuli have done is there. Tanzania did not have oil or anything. But from their little resources, he has been able to show capacity and strength. If we go today to Ethiopia, we know most of the money was loans, but we've seen where Prime Minister Abiy have taken these monies to. We've seen rail, we've seen road working, we've seen, a good life in Ethiopia. In our own case, nothing to show for. Tell me, General Buhari, when last did we see a project commissioned by General Buhari in Nigeria? I have never seen. I'm not just saying because I'm criticizing the government. Today, the records are there to see that everyone thing that General Buhari met or that he has even done was not done by him, was either done by the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua or from Goodluck Jonathan or Obasanjo and co. General Buhari has not been able to leave any legacy. The only legacy General Buhari has, left that he might leave behind is by oppressing the Nigerian people. Is by making sure more people will just die and he doesn't care. But this is a man that has benefited from the struggle of that country. This is a man that has benefited from the young people. This is a man that benefited from a free and fair election in 2015. But under him, all the elections has nothing to talk about. Under this government. So what are we talking?
Let us pick up this other impression and this caller. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Dr. Tata.
Yes, my sister. Welcome and thank you for calling in.
Dr. Tata, Alice, how are you?
We are very, very fine. Princess and Queen Alice Makari. Thank you for calling.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I always watch, but I normally don't call in. But Dr. Tata, I need to call in this time.
Thank you.
What is the United? What is the African Union doing? Can't they step in? Can't the African Union step in? Don't they have any authority? Don't they have any authority to step in?
African Union will not step in because African Union, my sister, will not step in because they are guilty to the same offense of General Buhari in Nigeria. Tell me what is different from what some of them are doing. Tell me why will somebody like Museveni in Uganda who call President Buhari to order? Because they are like twins. Tell me why Paul Biya will call General Buhari together. Tell me why Alassane Ouattara will call President Buhari to order. Tell me why President Alpha Conde of Guinea-Conakry will call General Buhari to order. I can go on and on. These are the people in African Union. They will never, because some of them are guilty to the same offense.
Can we write letter? Can we send letter to the African Union? Can we bombard them with letters and calls?
Whatever we can do to save Nigeria, my sister, please, on your own capacity, on the capacity of everybody, I am saying that Nigeria is under siege. Nigeria is under fire right now. It is a war that is going on that people have not seen. But I can tell you, thousands of people, just yesterday, Lord, just yesterday, in one of the northern states, over 500 people was killed by bandits. And they will say, unknown gunmen. Why would the government use the language of unknown gunmen? The unknown gunmen is the government. 500 and something persons was killed yesterday in a Kebbi state in Nigeria, one state, just for one day. By the time you calculate the entire deaths in Nigeria yesterday alone, you should be talking of over 800 deaths in one day in all parts of the region. And you have a man that sit down in the presidential villa and said, my name is General Buhari. He's a failed general, for God's sake. And that is why I've decided not to address him as president of Nigeria, but I said I address him as a general, because a president of a country will not allow his people to be killed. And you'll be sleeping without saying anything. A president of a country will not allow his people to be suffering. And you come to a national telly to come and tell lies that you are winning the war against corruption. What war are you winning? You come and tell Nigerians you are winning the war against insecurity. What war are you winning? Where people are dying every day, people cannot travel from road anymore in the country. For God's sake, what are we talking about? Nigeria has never been like this. Today, an Igbo man cannot be comfortably to say, I'm leaving Enugu to Kano State because he will be scared that I will be killed on my way going. Today, an German from Biafra State cannot have the guts to say that I'm traveling to Zaria without being praying to God. What are we even talking? Nigeria has never been like this before 2015. Everybody was free going to one another state. As of 2014, 2012, 2013, before General Buhari came in 2015, right now it is worst. And nobody is holding me accountable. That is why I said, when I said some of us want to take a global step by going to seek for support, the only language they normally listen that they are scared of is only when you tell them you are going to America to fight them. If I tell them now I'm going to meet President Uhuru Kenyatta in Kenya to seek for support, they will never be scared because they know Uhuru cannot pick up his phone and say, General Buhari, what you are doing is wrong. But when you tell them I'm going to see Joe Biden, everybody will be shaking. That is what the continent have done today. And that is why sometimes when we accuse the Western power, I disagree sometimes that no, the Western power is not our problem. If we did not invite them, they will not come.
Correct. That's also true.
If we did not invite them, they will never come. Remember recently, General Buhari was seeking for help from the Secretary of State. When he had a Zoom discussion with the Secretary of State, he said that you please relocate the American military base to Nigeria. And if today the Americans listen and relocate their base to Nigeria, and maybe the security of United States take over Nigeria, will start shouting, the Western powers has come again. How did they come if General Buhari did not call them? So it is because General Buhari knows he has failed that his military does not have the will and capacity and experience and intelligence to fight against the insecurity, and that is why he's begging the America to locate their base. So for God's sake, if that is the only thing that they're listening to, then we are going to seek for that foreign support. The foreign support we are going to seek for is foreign support that can help the common man in Nigeria to move freely again. Because we have nowhere to go. The ECOWAS is keeping quiet. The ECOWAS is not seeing anything wrong with what General Buhari is doing to Nigeria. But like I said, if what happened in Mali happened in Nigeria today, you start seeing presidential jets from east, west, and south coming into Nigeria to start coming to calm situation down. But right now, you cannot see them. They cannot come right now to say what is happening is already war.
That's true. Timi,
why do we need to wait till there is war for the AU to intervene in any crisis?
Exactly.
Why do we need to wait there is war for the ECOWAS to intervene in any crisis?
Hold on. Let us pick up this. I'm picking this call, Timi. Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Hello. Yes. We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you for calling, sister. Yes.
Good evening, family.
Good evening.
I really love the enthusiasm that we have we are witnessing with our brother Timi Frank.
Mm-hmm.
And I like one thing that he said. He said that his mentor or somebody he's speaking to or supporting him in his fight is Professor Lumumba.
Yes.
Which makes me wonder, because I know, and everybody who follows Professor Lumumba, his message is to decolonize our minds and for Africa to unite.
Yes.
And what I am hearing from our brother Timi is about Nigeria, Nigeria, free Nigeria, this Nigeria, this Nigeria. Nigeria is not an island. What is happening in Nigeria is happening everywhere in Africa. It means there is a problem. You cannot expect a government to make you prosper. A government has never been designed to make anyone rich, but to control you so that they know where you are going left and right. The government, our leaders, they are educated in the West. They are supported in the West. It means their mindset thinks like the West. And we, our brother Timi, is still calling on international criminal court. He's still calling on this West and asking for help. We are the problem as Black African people because we have not yet decolonized our minds from religion, from all these political affiliations that we are into. It starts with a personal want or desire to say, you know what, let me detach myself from what has happened to us from the time that we have been disrupted from our own way of living. And now that we are really depending on the Eurocentric education. And this is my own personal view, that as long as we worship the Eurocentric education, criminal system, the way of doing business, we are losing our own self as African people. If we choose to unite and remove religion, remove tribalism, remove borders, and say we are going to stand as Black people of Africa, we will win this fight. I live in the UK, and you see that we are so divided.
Correct.
If Buhari comes here in the UK for medication or whatever is coming for, if every Black African person goes and block at that clinic to say he must go home, he has nowhere to run to. But we still say, oh, it's a Nigerian problem. And
That's
we fold
true.
our hands and we say, oh, let Nigerians solve it. Or let these ones, Zimbabweans solve it. Let Ghana solve it. We are never going to go anyway. If we can stand as Black people of Africa and stop relying on these people of the West and this education of the West, this is what my two cents. I love our brother Timi's enthusiasm and his fight and his anger and all this, but I think he's directing it onto the wrong people. He has a platform. He has to start to educate the youth in his area or wherever he is, so that we can get away from this religion. If we are going to follow it, let's follow it.
Please let me come in for 1 minute. Let me come in for 1 minute. I want to thank you.
Wait. Hold on, Timi. Let her finish. You talk. Okay. Yes.
We do not know the values of our resources in Africa. We do not know as Africans. We are looking for loans, but that is not a loan. That's charity change, because they are coming and taking our oil, our gold, and our what, and then they come back and they say, we give you 5 million for aid, and we clap our hands and we think we have made it. Come on, we can do better than this, and this starts with education. Let's educate ourselves. We've got this platform which we have our teachers coming every week to teach us about what happened to us, the way forward. And we are still coming here shouting and saying, oh, we want the criminal justice, international criminal justice, we want the ECOWAS. Who is funding the ECOWAS? Let us be serious, guys. This is my 2 cents contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sister. Thank you for your voice. Thank you for your contribution.
Anyway, my sister, yes, I want to agree and align myself with my sister over there. Correct. I want to let her understand that, I don't believe in, saying it is only the West that can help us. But if that is the language that our leaders is going to listen to bring peace in my country, especially in Nigeria and every other part of the country, then we have to seek for it, because the truth is very clear. Like I said earlier on, if our leaders did not go to them, I made one example just recently. The Americans never said we want to carry our military base to Nigeria. It is the incompetent general that we have in Nigeria who said, I want you people to bring your military base. So if they do that tomorrow, how can we hold them accountable to say, why did you bring? It's because we invited them to come. These are my arguments. If I said I'm going to the International Criminal Court, ICC, it's not because we don't have a court in Nigeria, because if we carry our case today to any court in Nigeria, no court will preside over, what we are going to give to them, because they will be scared of the general. So why do I waste my time to carry my case to a court that is already compromised? So if there is anything I need to do, let me take it somewhere that he cannot use his influence to buy the judgment for himself. One way or the other, we saw what happened to Charles Taylor. The Liberia court alone would have not been able to hold on to him, because the Liberia people went to ICC, and today ICC has held on to him. We saw the same thing in Ivory Coast. The court in Ivory Coast would have not arrested or jailed, Laurent Gbagbo. So sometimes it is our leaders that has created this format of the West. That is why they run. Have you seen a Nigerian government, when Nigeria is broke, that goes to South Africa for loan? Dr. Susan, it's not happening.
It's not, yes.
It's not.
That's the divisiveness that we're talking about. We're so divided.
Yes. So our leaders, this is not the continent of Africa today. What we are practicing is not the continent, the view of people like Kwame Nkrumah in those days. People like Julius Nyerere, Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara. These are leaders who have different vision for Africa. But since they all died, that vision is gone. These are not leaders I would have been inviting the international community to come and help them. These are leaders who believe in the local solution. Yes. But right now, the leaders we have are looking for an international. So if that is what they understand, that makes them to be afraid, then let's go to that direction. The most important thing, we must rescue the people that are feeling these pains. And this is my position.
Of course, you are a politician and an activist, so you know political views has to interwoven with the connections and the international relationship, and even these international criminals also that are supporting this kind of nepotism that we all talking about. It's all everything that is all accountable. Like you say, if that's the language that they understand, like I said, you are a politician and you're dealing on it from a political state of mind. And but is there a over to you, Timi. I don't want to like. I mean, we respect you and your fight. How many young people would do it? And like I said, I understand. Even that's the reason why we made this a topic to say the state of the state of the nation in terms of political affairs, because I know the fight. I mean, it's actually Professor Pierre Olumumba that reached out to me and asked me to host you. I mean, so we can understand what is it that he wanted us, Timi, to educate us or to tell the international community or to call an attention to a situation, particularly because him, Professor PLO, has been asking audience. He has been on many audience in Nigeria, you know, on invitation and has articulated these issues. It's not somebody that hides in Kenya and just talk like we say he just makes speeches. No, he is always there. Currently, as we're talking, I mean, if you look at where he is right now and doing what? Just doing exactly that, because at some point in time we say, oh, they just talk, or apart from just talk. No, most of them, the work that they are doing in the background.
Like let me give you one example, one instance. Let me give you one instance, for example. That is why Professor Pierre Lumumba is very worried. He believes if Nigeria work, Africa will work. If Nigeria did not work, then Africa is in trouble. That example is true. That philosophy is true. Let me tell you, look at all the elections that was conducted in 2014, 2015 in our continent was free and fair, because it started from Nigeria, where we saw Jonathan hand over power to Gerald Buhari. We saw in Ghana, President John Mahama hand over power to Nana Akufo-Addo. We saw the same thing in Gambia.
Yes.
That same period. We saw this same process in Senegal. The elections were free in Sierra Leone. That same time, all the elections were peaceful, because it started from Nigeria. Look at the elections in 2019. Immediately after the elections in 2019 was rigged by Gerald Buhari. Every other elections, everybody took suits in the continent. All the elections you saw in recent time were compromised, because they see that it worked in Nigeria, nothing happened. They decide to take some of those models within the continent again. So what example are they setting? So it is very clear that Nigeria is taking the lead, but Nigeria is taking the lead on a bad perspective. Nigeria is teaching every other part of the country a very wrong thing to do politically. And because they think we have one dictator, that if the Nigerian people did not rise against that dictator, they will do it every other place and go scot-free. So for God's sake, some of us are not sleeping right now. I tell you, Susan, every day I go to bed, when people are sleeping, I'm awake. I'm trying to communicate with my brothers in America.
It's true.
I'm trying to coordinate with my brothers in Europe. I'm trying to coordinate with my brothers everywhere to see that we must put an end to this dictatorship that is going on. When we fix Nigeria, we'll be able to fix Ghana. When we fix Ghana, we'll be able to fix Ivory Coast. When we fix Ivory Coast, we'll be able to fix Zimbabwe. When we fix Zimbabwe, we'll be able to fix every other part of the continent. So we are not sleeping. As I speak, I'll be making a trip very soon, like I said, to accompany Professor Pierre Lumumba to the States, that is going to visit Nigerians and other part of Africans that are living in the States. We have to sell new dimension of the new roadmap to bring back Africa again. So these are some of the things we're about to do very soon.
Correct me. I just want to add just a small background. I know you're focused on the topic. For all those our viewers, most of the guests you see us host on the Pan-African Daily is not just Susan Tata deciding who comes. I mean, we actually liaise with Dr. Arikana, with Professor Pielo, with Professor James Small, with Maponga J, all these Pan-African leaders of today. Before we host a guest, most of them, or they contact us something like that, we actually take advice and mentor them. And most of them, when they tell you, hey, this is who you have to host on the show. So it is a whole a system that we're putting up. But we know that, yes, in as much as we're building this, I mean, I know from the timetable, if we saw a freedom came here, you know, the young rich Nigerian that is making it in terms of industrialization, it was because Timi Frank went to Ghana to meet freedom, to say, how can we, the young people, and they had this meeting with Osman Toure and some other influential youths that are looking at the Africa tomorrow. So I just want to clear that background, because we're not getting into details with what people do. We just want to focus on that, and it is recommendable what Timi Frank is doing and the directions that he's doing, and he is not doing it on his own. He has the leadership behind him. Just a point of yeah.
Thank you very much, my sister. I really appreciate, and you are doing a very great job for the continent of Africa. And I pray this continent one day is going to be celebrated through this show, through your contribution, through your support to the continent, because we need things like this to give, you know, a lot of us the opportunity to speak, because the current traditional medias in every part of African continent, there's no freedom of speech for people to air their voice. So this is the only platform today that is very strong, that is Pan-Africanist, that allows, you know, freedom fighters, political opinion leaders to speak, you know, to come up with solutions that will affect, you know, the continent. Otherwise, today, the voices of most leaders within the zone of our continent would have been silent, because no TV channel that is controlled by any government or a traditional newspaper in that country will allow anybody to air their views outside your platform. And that is why we are very grateful, and we'll keep praying for you for the good job and what you're doing. And by the grace of God, we'll achieve victory in this struggle of reviving our continent.
Thank you very much, Timi. Thank you. I mean, we appreciate your engagement. Yes, we appreciate your support. And of course, like my sister Desire is also a team on the Pan-African Daily, is saying, we the mothers are actually, I mean, I have to say this, and I really want to commend this. I mean, we got a very interesting email and a feedback from brothers out there saying, please, we need women, mothers, to teach us, to talk to us, to lecture to us. We are already beginning to see the impact of most of our young men that become street, most of our children, because of brokenness and the divisiveness, that never had that opportunity to get the touch of a mother, of a sister. And I want to congratulate all the women, the mothers. It's not about gender. It's not about women trying to do better than men. But if our men are calling on us, and to say, I mean, they're already proposing, Susan, you have to do a special show for men. Talk to us. It is, we will listen. Don't be afraid to tell us things that we need to know. We also need education of ourselves. We also need the steadfastness of manhood that would fit the balance. And I was so grateful. We're going to share that comment with you on the Pan-African Daily. And it's not a pride. It's not to say that, okay, we do better. It is just the position of the mother, the role of the mother. The role of the mother. It's not about women. It is about motherhood. How we begin to teach, how we begin to redirect the focus. And that's why I really thank Alice for calling. I thank Desire for calling, and the women that are putting up their voice. And I thank Kofi for you moderating to say, yes, we like to hear more sisters talk out. Because when the women are silent and you see all these things happening, who are the ones that raise these children? Who are the ones? What kind of education do we give ourselves, right? So motherhood is not about women. And now today, when we hear political discussions, it will be, oh, women should take the leadership of Africa. No, it is not about women taking leadership. It is about women positioning their role as mothers, as motherhood of a continent. Otherwise, women are going behind and trying to claim some positions in some space that is not required. I want to thank these brothers out there that put up a team to say, Pan-African Daily TV, make a show for us men. Just be making a show. Give us the space. We want to listen to mothers talk to us. Tell us things that they also expect us to be doing. It has nothing to do with gender. And I'm so grateful. And I can guarantee you we're coming up. Desire is here. We have our sisters out there that are coming up with this program. Even our daughter Naisha. All of us are so motivated that our brothers will come to us to say we need motherhood on the continent. And I think that's exactly when we say mothers should take responsibility on the continent. We are not saying mothers should go and be presidents and leaders and do that. No, we're just saying mothers, position yourself in the education of the African child. How do we brace our sons and our daughters? Do we discriminate them? Do we imbalance them? What is it that we have lost our right to educate ourselves as women and our sisters, our young ones coming up? It is our responsibility, and it's not about politicking. So, Timi, it was really important that you bring up if men are rising up and crying and saying, no, we have leaders that are not. What about the women that are sitting in those palaces? We've talked about it a couple of times. What is it what do they teach? What do they, General Buhari is a son of a mother. It is, right?
Yeah.
So we have to work together, my people. We must work together. Anyone that is standing up and taking the challenges, whether you're called a traitor or you're called a sellout or what, you're just contributing. And like I said, we take advice. Who we host on the Pan-African Daily is not the Pan-African Daily of Dr. Susan or Naisha or Patrick Kassirin. We seek advice from our elders. What is it that we should talk about? What is it that we should focus about? What are the solutions that we need? People that should orientate us. So we don't just pick up anybody. We're not just challenging a leadership. We are building the Africa collectively with our leaders. What is wrong in holding ourselves accountable? So I thank you so much. I thank you for bringing up this spirit. We have to wake up as one. A problem in Nigeria on this is an entire problem. That's the spirit. Yeah. We're not divided anymore. So one last word, brother. Timi.
Anyway, I want to make it very clear that Nigeria is in a dying state. I'm calling on all our brothers not to allow us to die. Everybody within the continent should do whatever they can to rescue the people back home. I have sleepless nights every day. I cannot sleep with my two eyes closed because I don't know when it's going to get to my doorstep that maybe I'll receive one call one morning to say my mother has been kidnapped. I don't know when I'll wake up and they'll tell me my brother has been shot dead on the streets while looking for food to eat for the day. So this is the time we must all speak out. It is very clear. There's no any other time to speak than now. We need all the voices. And everyone religious leader today in Nigeria, I want to pass a message. The churches are the places where you see large crowd. I want to tell the men of God that the time has come for every one of them to come together, drop their sentiments, and said, not just sitting down to say, pray for Nigeria alone will not solve our problem. There is nobody that prays more than Nigeria. Nigerians have been praying for too long, but the more we pray without action, the more the atrocities and injustice is happening to the country.
Because we're praying for wrong God.
Yeah. You know, so it's high time we match those prayers with actions. I want to see one Sunday where Adeboye who said, from the service, we must hit the streets to say no to this killing, no to the oppression, no to this intimidation of General Buhari's comment. I want to see the day David Oyedepo, who said on a Sunday, to said we must hit the streets after church service to put an end to the killing of Nigerians. I want to see the Imam in his mosques on a Friday to say after the prayers, let's hit the streets to say no to oppression of General Buhari, that he must end this insecurity in the country, he must end the corruption ravaging our country. I want to see that day, the man in the mosques who lead that protest. So I think all the religious leaders, whether you're a Christian or you're a traditionalist or you're a pastor, this is the time we need a mass movement. I remember a comment from General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, the former military head of state, and which is true. I align myself to that statement. He made it very clear, said Nigerians are not yet ready to do the right thing. If Nigerians are ready, Buhari will leave that presidential villa. That was Nigerians that unseat him as a military head of state when he never wanted to leave. I agree. If Nigerians today decide to say enough is enough, General Buhari will cease to be Nigerian president. I want to wait to see the Malian style. I want to wait to see the Sudanese style. President al-Bashir of Sudan has been in power for over 40 years. But it took one little girl to come to the street to say, no, enough is enough. At the end of the day, what happened? We saw the former president of Egypt that has been in power, Mubarak, that has been in power for over how many years? The day the Egyptians decided to say enough is enough, that president left office. So this is the time for Nigerians to say enough is enough, for General Buhari to go. The killing is too much. The kidnapping is too much. The insecurity is too much. The corruption is too much. Until we address these issues, Africa will never remain the same as long as Nigeria does not remain the same. I can tell you clearly, the African continent will suffer if there is anything today in Nigeria, because everybody is now running away out of the country. Our airport is now the most busiest airport as we speak. The waterways are the now biggest place for people to escape through the water routes. Everybody is trying to protect themselves. So Africans should not allow Nigerians to die. I'm appealing to our people. The time has come. As we proceed with this protest on the June 12th day, that is meant to be a day of celebration for our democracy, I urge every Nigerian, home and abroad, to come out to say there is nothing to celebrate. Either that General Buhari must go. There is nothing to celebrate for us to come up and say General Buhari should neither resign or be impeached by the loyal boys that we have in the Senate. I'm waiting to see Nigerians to say this corruption must stop. And this is the only time we can do it. We do not have any other time than now. And this is the time we must cry. And this is the only way God can hear our cries. And I want to say thank you very much for those people that have watched this show. Susan, thank you for giving me this opportunity. This is your own contribution to liberate Nigerians again from the hand of General Buhari. Because if you are not there, I might not have the opportunity to speak. No TV channel will want to carry me in Nigeria because they are scared, because they know if I speak, I'm going to speak the truth. And nobody wants to hear the truth. And thank God they've given me the opportunity to speak. Whatever I've said on this show, I can tell you, this is the view of millions of Nigeria, not just millions of Nigeria, but millions within the continent of Africa, about the injustice, nepotism, oppression, satanic collabo between General Buhari and his cohorts that are leading us today. This is just the honest truth. And I pray by the grace of God, we shall achieve victory in all of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Timi. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to host you here, and we pray and the wind of change would just do justice to Africa. The God of Africa, our ancestors, would just do justice in one way, to unite us, to bring us back to our senses. And like Rev Shuk said, nothing is wrong with us. Something was done to us. We have to pick back our minds together and to put this thing. So we thank you so much. And we also giving a shout out to Professor Piolo Lumumba for his infatigable fight. And Mama Arikana is sending regards and greetings to you. If you don't see them opt now on the Pan-African Daily TV, is because they've given us every tools and instrument. Now what they're doing, they're just setting the structures behind, like you heard Timi saying, they're going to be going around mobilizing. It's the same thing Mama Arikana is doing day and night. So it's not just that they forget about us, or they don't come, but it's just that there's too much work on the ground. And these leaders that we have today are doing everything, sleepless night, like Timi is saying, trying to put the structure, because the structure is what we need. Once we have the foundation, the African child can smile tomorrow, irrespective and the sadness of the lives we're losing. but at least there is a start point where we're looking for a better future. So thank you so much for being here, Timi. It will be a pleasure to still keep in touch with you, to follow up on your activism. In any time that we will have questions or to follow up what happened, it will be a pleasure to have you on the Pan-African Daily TV. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you so much, all of you also who have been watching and yes, following this conversation. And you can see, I want to thank particularly the mothers and the brothers that call in to contribute on this. It is a wonderful spirit that we're building out here. Now, tomorrow, what is going to happen? I already announced it. I would be on the Juliet Rian show, Black Seat, because there's some issues that we have to address, you know, out there. But we waiting to actually make it happen, like we stream it live also, that you can follow that conversation out there in the Gambia. Yeah, so please watch out. I might post a flyer on it. Normally we were supposed to be together with King Maponga Joshua, but it's still not confirmed because, like I said, most of the leaders are on the ground now. They want to limit a lot of public speaking and give us the tools, the women, the mothers, and the young people, and advocacy, and people that are actually just making a contribution to take this mantle. The calendar, it's not more about just making speeches like people think they just sit, or Dr. Arikana is just sitting and just talking. No, they are walking on the ground. They're meeting even these leaders, because as you can understand, we are one people. It's not about fighting each other. It is not about that we hate ourselves. It's about just calling out for things that will waken also their minds. Imagine they do all this, or even our leaders, and we don't hold them accountable, and we just stay mute, and we just keep to clap hands, like he's saying, and sing praises. Then we are a disgrace. It is a shame to us. Yes, if we don't feel, it's our family, it's our conversation, it's our continent. And that's why we're thanking ourselves to be that voice also. What do we contribute apart from just criticizing? If we were doing just that, what do we contribute? Like our sister Desire said, we're so divided. We're so divided. That is the fact. And I think our mothers should get back on board. When I say mothers, I'm talking women, experience. How do we build back a united Africa? A lot of things to put in place. But you mothers just being silent and quiet and just blaming each other, I think we are irresponsible. We want to see more women rise up to say we are building that Africa, because it's also part of it. We have a balance. You have your work, I have my own work, right? And let us go back to these principles and do what we are called to do at our own time, and stop politicking, and stop accusing, and stop always, oh, we are victimized, oh, we are the ones that are abused. Do we know the challenge that the men are also going through? It is upon all of us. All of us are broken. The men, the women, the children, the family, we are all a broken people. Show me one. We're all walking around pretending as if we're united, as if we're in harmony. From our homes to the street to everything, we keep lying to ourselves every day that things are working. It is not. We have to stop it. We have to come up. We have to sit and discuss our challenges, look at us in the eyes and say we're doing wrong. There's nothing wrong in us accusing ourselves, holding ourselves accountable, but in the right direction to build a united Africa. That is our goal. And like I said, nobody would hijack this agenda of the African unity from the African people. So Saturday, we're still going to continue these conversations on Nigeria, and we'll be having Dr. Sumtende on the show and some other Nigerians. It's a topic. You don't understand what is going on in Nigeria until Nigeria would collapse. And look at the population of Nigeria. Do we see the impact? When we are saying that if it happens in Nigeria, it's going to go crazy on the continent. Look at the population. Where will people run to? We're already facing this border crisis. And the population in the different countries, they cannot even take more refugees again. And now we're going to see another outbreak where millions of young people will die crossing the Mediterranean because of a conflict. Do we see it? Is that what we're seeing? So when we start talking about anticipation already, we see the root cause. And we're already seeing what is going to happen. Do we wait until we see that, oh, our people are dying in the Mediterranean? This is the root cause. If Nigeria would go down, I don't know, Lord have mercy on us. Because the population fleeing from left, center, right is going to be disastrous. So it should not even happen. It shouldn't, please. Yes. So Sunday, we would have a special. We will have a special, and we're going to be talking about the West Guinea, West Papua. We have neglected this people for a while, but Raki, who is the spokesman for the Free West Papua campaign, is putting up a small team, and we would be doing a special on that. I mean, I'm just sorry to announce that we're going to be doing really long hours, yeah, us together. The fans, the viewers, the commentators, the sharers, the followers, the whole team, we have to work extra. I don't see us taking any free days this day, because the uprisings and the programs that we have that are coming up, I don't see any of us taking break. I mean, I'm talking to the followers and the fans and us sitting here. We have work to do. That time of relaxing is over. So don't just think that because you're watching or you're doing a tremendous contribution just by logging in and watching and sharing. And even though most of our biggest fans are the ones that don't just talk, okay? So we are going to work day and night on the Pan-African Daily TV. We're going to be posting. It's going to be a 24/7 action. I will not be here to be hosting, because we're still trying to build up, you know, partners, voices that will be coming to host from time to time. But what we intend to do on the small team and the others is to do the reproduction of the shows that we've been doing, and we'll be posting every 24/7. The Pan-African Daily TV is going to be active. Okay? Yes, why? Because we have more than 700 productions that we've been doing here. Exactly what Desire said. We have scholars, the best and the ice cream of the African people worldwide. What have they not said? If Professor James Small is here, he's going to be repeating the same thing that he's been saying. If Rev Sharp is here, he's going to be telling us about the first frequency, what he does every time. Yeah? If Obati Shaka is here, he's going to be telling us about the balance. If Maponga is here, if Rutendo is here, they're telling us the same thing. It's a repetition of what we've been hearing. So it is our own capacity to reproduce. Why? Because language, we cannot just listen once and it sticks. Remember, for how many years did they take our brains away? And to today, they repeat the same formula, the same formula. How many times do we pray a day? It is a meditation, and it's the conditioning of the mind. So we also have to listen to this conversation over and over and over. Decolonization of our minds will not come if we don't sit and teach ourselves. And so what the productions that we're doing here, it's a 2 hours production we've just done with Timi. We're going to be breaking them into parts. What is it that we learned from this? What is it that we heard? What is it that we heard? And we're going to be uploading every second and putting it live. For those that miss it when they're at work, those that were sleeping, those that were busy, no African child would miss this. So Pan-African Daily TV, as in the months coming, would be 24/7 live. Not just with Dr. Susan, but with other educational forums that we've been having here, okay? So Sunday, we're going to do West Guinea, West Papua Guinea, a special. Yes, I want us to lock in, give our brothers the support. They have good news. They also have challenges that they want to tell us where this struggle that they started recently is taking them to, right? And then on Monday, like I said, we're not going to have any rest, no way. We are going to have a very interesting conversation and an education about the River Nile. What has the contribution of the waters in the Horn of Africa in terms of political, economic, religious, whatever? And this brother is an Ethiopian-born brother, an activist, a scholar, an expert, and has been putting this wonderful, beautiful collection. I mean, when I shared with him, it was like, I've never heard something like that. So it is necessary that we, the African, learn what is the River Nile? What is the River Nile all about? We keep hearing about the River Nile. So this brother is going to educate us on that session on Monday. And then Tuesday, we want to visit the Amazonian Southern Cameroon's crisis. What has happened since 4 years? Today, no dialogue. Every day we hear about incarceration. Every day, what is wrong? Is the youngest continent, and conflict on the continent, and we are not able? So Al Wahab is going to handle that topic. And then Wednesday is June 16th. You understand that. And so we have to commemorate this day, Juneteenth. And we'll be getting speakers to educate us on the fight of the women. What happened at Juneteenth? This is something that we've never been making a noise on it. June 16th or June 10th, we're going to have experts to actually deliberate on that day. We have to commemorate that day. We have to know the history of that day. We have to understand the freedom fighters of that day. Why is that day so important in the calendar of the Pan-African today? Yeah. And then from Thursday to Sunday is going to be the Patrice Lumumba week. The Patrice Emery Lumumba week. Remember, we're talking about the official burial and the memorial. Today, in a press release and public press release, the Excellency, the President, who is currently also the chair of the Democratic Republic, cut a ribbon officially on that historic event. And so events will start unfolding on the continent and in the diaspora about this historic thing. Imagine, like I said, we're witnessing the burial of this legend. It is historic. Yes. So Thursday to Sunday is going to be the Patrice Emery Lumumba week. And then we will take it from there. So we see ourselves tomorrow on Black Seed. Please tune in and let's give our sister Juliet a shout out there for all the tremendous work that she's doing. She has some challenges. She needs our support. Okay, good. So we see ourselves tomorrow, same time. Bye-bye. Take care. Hotep. Asante sana.
You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.